Hello everyone. In this module, we are going to learn about heat map and following are the topics that we are going to discuss. Firstly, we will understand what is heat map. After that, we will see uses of heat map. Then we will see some benefits of it. After that, we will learn how to create a heat map in Matplotlib and we will discuss imshow function and pcolormesh function also. So let's understand what is heat map. A heat map is a method used for data visualization and it is a graphical representation of a data where values are shown by the color. And we use the heat map in the following cases. The heat map is used to detect what a work website or a product page does, and it is also used to examine the work which does not done by the website and the product page. For example, it is used to visualize the most popular and unpopular element of the site web page content. Now we will discuss some benefits of the heat map. The first benefit of heat map is it is used in assessing important content. The next benefit is shows how many times we fail to see important content on a website. It also shows the major links, buttons, OPT instances and CTAs that are found and used on the web pages. The next benefit is it is used to determine if a user are distracted by a non-clickable elements or not. And in last, it is also beneficial to determine if user experience issue across the device or not. So now we will learn to create a heat map in Matplotlib. So there are two methods that are used to plot a heat map. The first one is imshow function and the next one is by using the pcolormesh function. So let's learn each function in detail one by one. So imshow function is used to display data values using color and the syntax of the function is matplotlib.pyplot.imshow and in braces we pass different parameters. The first one is x which take value as an array and it is a data set. The next is cmap, it take value as a string and it is nothing but the color map. The next one is interpolation and it also take value as a string. It is the interpolation method and it has the many values which I defined in documentation. The next one is alpha, it take value as a float or array like and it is used to set the transparency value and it range from 0 to 1. The next one is vmin, it take value as a float and it is the minimum color bar range. And the last one is vmax and it is the maximum color bar range and it also take value as a float. So now we will see an example to understand how imshow function works. So here is the example. Firstly, I import the necessary libraries. So first I import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. Next I import numpy as np. Then I define data and for defining it I use the np.random.rand function. Then I want to plot a heat map. For this I use the imshow function. So I call imshow function and in braces I pass different parameter. As a x parameter I pass x variable. Then I pass cmp parameter and I set its value to set3. Then I call the interpolation parameter and I set its value to nearest. And in last I call the alpha parameter and set its value to 0.5. Then I call the title function as I want to add a title to the plot. So we know what this plot represents. So I add title as a heat map using imshow function. And in last I call the show function to display the plot on the screen. So I execute this code and here is the output. You can see that it shows a small square boxes inside the plot with different colors. So I will show you what will happen if I change the interpolation value. Now I change it from nearest to bicubic and I execute this code and you can see that the plot gets changed. So now we will move to the next function, that is pcolormesh function. So this function makes a pseudo color plot using a non-regular rectangular grid, which is another approach to plotting the 2D heat map. And the syntax for this function is matplotlib.pyplot.pcolormesh function and in function we pass the different parameters. The first parameter is x and y. It take value as an array and it is the coordinate of the corner of the quadrilateral of the color mesh. The next is capital C. it take value as a 2D array and it is nothing the color map mapped value. The next one is CMap. It take value as a string or color map and it is a color map instance or a registered color map name. The next one is vmin. It take value as a float and it is the minimum range of the color bar, whereas vmax is the maximum range of the color bar and it also take value as a float, and the alpha is used to set the transparency. So let's see an example to understand the concept of a pcolormesh function also. So here is the code. So firstly I import the necessary libraries. The first one is matplotlib.pyplot as plt. The next one is numpy as np. Then I define the data coordinate again as using np.random.rand function. Now this time I call the pcolormesh function instead of the imshow function. So I pass value as a x and I set cmp value, which means color map value, as a hsv, and I set its alpha value to 0.8 and I also pass additional argument edge color to add edge colors to the square boxes which it creates, and I set its value to k, which means black. Then I call the title function to know what this plot represents. So I add title as a heat map using a pcolormesh function, and in last I call the show function to display the plot. Now I execute this code and here you can see that it creates a plot with small square boxes and different colors, and the box also has edge color black. So with this we have learned to plot a heat map in a matplotlib, and now in the next module we will learn image plotting.